Welcome to Sweet Talk SLP. I'm Krystle and I'm a pediatric speech language pathologist. And today is another episode of Sweet Talk Tips. But before we get started, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I invite you to subscribe. Also, like this video and share it with your friends. Let's get started. Here we go, another episode of Sweet Talk Tips. And today's tips are for my SLPs out there, my SLPAs, teachers, and parents. I'm going to talk about interactive books and how I use them in therapy and how you can use them at home. So first, there are a few types of interactive books. Some that you make. I do have a video of me making some interactive books. And so I use board books and print out images and then use Velcro so that I can stick it onto the page. And so you can see that every page has its own little image. So here's one kind of interactive book. There are some that you can purchase and make totally from scratch from Teachers Pay Teachers. Here is one that I have here. And so this one has removable pieces and I made it into a little book. We'll talk a little bit more about this. And then I feel like there are some that you can purchase online. There are some Montessori interactive type books that also have the same concept of removing pieces and putting them on the book. I'll link an example of one down below. I'll probably also add an image of what that looks like here. I don't have any of those. I like to make my own. Those look very useful. And so if you have one, I'm sure that it can be used in some of the same ways that I use them. So first I'm going to talk about the types of goals that I work on with interactive books. So firstly, I work on vocabulary. I work on naming things. In the case of Brown Bear, we may be labeling objects. I don't really usually work on labeling colors, but if I am, we can work on labeling colors. It just makes it a little bit easier to have something for busy hands, and it makes it a little bit more fun when you're working on some of those tasks. And the child often doesn't realize that that's what they're working on. I also like to target WH questions in general. So what is this? Where is that? Who does it belong to? And things of that nature. Following directions is also a really fun one to use with interactive books. You can use additional items and have them follow directions with the image and put it in something, put it on something, give it to someone while they're doing some sort of following direction task, along with put it on the book, right? I love yes or no questions. Is this the red bird? No. Is this the red bird? Yes. I also like to target prepositions, which can also be worked on with following directions. So putting the interactive pieces on top, in, under, whatever preposition you might be working on. I enjoy using it for my early language kids and maybe matching and identifying. Maybe we're not at the point where we are labeling objects, but maybe we need some support to help with identifying tasks, and instead we're doing matching. Maybe placing a field of 2 images and having them match it to the big picture and putting it on the book with some help if they need it. But I definitely like to do some matching or identification tasks with the interactive pieces. And then I like working on speech goals. I do have some books that are maybe speech heavy in that they have a lot of T's in the final position of words. And maybe we're working on final consonant deletion and I may use a book with T in the end of words, and using those interactive pieces helps increase trials for me. So we're looking for the hat. Where is the hat? Put the hat on the book. Let's talk about the hat. And now we've, said hat maybe 4 or 5 times, and I feel like it makes it a little bit easier. As I mentioned, there are more specific books that target things. This one targets CVCVs. It's labeled as a book for apraxia or targeting apraxia goals by A Gift of Speech. I purchased this from Teachers Pay Teachers and I put it together at home and laminated it and added the Velcro strips to make it interactive. This book in particular increases in images. So you start with one baby, and so looking for the baby, saying baby 1 time, and then eventually maybe getting to a page that has 4, and now you're working on puppy, 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 puppy. This book is more of a CV1, CV2 type of book, or a C1, V1. No, I think it's a CV1, CV2 type of book. Now we're into turtle. turtle, 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 turtle. So it definitely increases how many times you work on these sounds. I like books like this one for maybe my really young kids who have apraxia or just some sort of speech sound disorder, and it's really hard for them to do any type of drill work. We do a lot of play-based therapy, but doing books like this makes it fun and interactive. And then I try to make it even more fun because I might hide pieces in some sort of sensory box. So I just have a box with some palms here. Maybe I'll remove all of the pieces from the Brown Bear book and then hide them in the sensory bin and have them look for them in the box when we're putting them on the book. I also like to hide them around the room that we're using in case we need a little bit more movement. Maybe hide them under things or in cups so that we have to look for them. I also enjoy putting them in little boxes or Easter eggs, just so we have some extra things to keep our hands busy and for working on our speech sounds or increasing MLU. I found the bear. Here's the bear. I see the bear, and things like that. So there really is a lot of things that you can work on using interactive books, and then increasing literacy, of course, really helps out later on. But I really enjoy having my interactive books. For some of these, I found them for free, and I will list them down below with a link. Others I have purchased. I purchased a growing bundle from, I think it's Autism Little Learners is what the creator is called, and I bought it when there was maybe 4 or 5 groups of interactive materials, and now I think there's maybe 12. And so I am slowly collecting more books and making more of them interactive, starting to add them into some of my themed bins, so that way, along with whatever materials I have in that bin, maybe I also have an interactive book to go with it, maybe a small little sensory bin to kind of match with it, and things of that nature. But definitely fun to have interactive books in speech therapy. Always a great choice for using these at home with your children and working on some of these to kind of help support their language needs. I'd love to know if you have any interactive books, which ones are your favorites, and how do you like to use them with your child or in therapy. Thank you again for watching. I really hope that you liked this video. If you did, I hope that you'll consider subscribing, giving it a thumbs up, sharing it with your friends. Also ring that notification bell. You'll be notified of my weekly uploads. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next one.